Okay, I'd like to call to order the Committee of the Whole meeting, November 15th, 2021. The time is 7 p.m. Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Revolt.
Present.
Member Fonte.
Here.
Member Stretta.
Here.
Member Peters.
Here.
Member Foltz.
Here.
Member Stroya.
Here.
Member Warren is absent. 6 present.
Motion to excuse member Warren. So moved.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, first up, Community and Economic Development. Chairman Revolt, the floor is yours.
Thank you. We have an opportunity to bring what we believe to be is a more permanent use to the site of George's Foreign Car Service on South Main Street. We have a proposal for it to be occupied by a coffee shop, and that facility will require or benefit from a drive-through. But in that particular stretch of the Main Street South zoning district, we do not currently allow drive-throughs. So what we're going to propose to send to the Planning Commission is that the Main Street South zoning district regulations be amended to allow a drive-through as a conditional use. And if you note in the materials I think Ben has provided to you, those conditional uses are consistent elsewhere in the city, so we're not doing anything extraordinary. The advantage of the conditional use is it's not permanent. If this project should not be successful, the conditional use will disappear. So we think this is good, and in advance of something else happening there, this brings that parcel online. And it's actually a pretty good parcel. Patrick, I'm not sure I know the correct dimensions, but actually it's got a large chunk of property behind it that borders on Mississippi. So it's a pretty good location for something. And I'm just trying to think, I do not believe there is only, one other coffee shop without a drive-through, and that's Whole Latte Love in the strip mall to the south. So it might be a good location. Are there any questions?
No.
If there are none, then I'll make a motion that place this on the forthcoming agenda. We'll do this by amendment tonight, and again, it will be to move this to the Planning Commission.
Both seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
That is it.
Thank you, Darrell. Okay, may I have a motion and a second to remove from the table ordinance 67-2021?
Holtz moves. Stretta seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Street and Alley Committee, Chairman Fonte.
Yes, we talked about this, about the homeowners.
And we're going to ask to kill this in committee and not discuss it tonight.
Okay.
Because we got into an in-depth discussion with the clerk, the engineer, the building superintendent, myself, and have come up with a comprehensive approach to it. And just, quite selfishly, I'll take the rap for it, but I just assumed I would take it to the new council. Because if we meet tonight, we're not meeting for another several weeks. It would just sit, so we might as well just let the
John, are you in charge now, big
so.
boy? I'm fine with
So
that.
in order to clean up the books, Ben did not want to leave this lay open at the end of the term, so we're asking to kill it.
That's smart.
How do you type up? I bet you would.
Some other words in there.
Here's what I wanted to know is, so we want to kill it and start fresh, correct?
Correct.
Okay, I'm good.
Okay, so it is.
Motion that? You want to make a motion?
I make a motion,
So
we
it's
crush
been
it.
removed from the table, correct?
To defeat,
Yes, it has
we have
been.
already removed from the table now. He made a motion to defeat ordinance 67-21. Is there a second?
Stroya seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion 67-21 is crushed. Okay, that concludes the Committee of the Whole. Motion to adjourn.
Revolt moves.
Revolt
Revolt
seconds.
seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, we are adjourned. Now I'll call to order the North Canton Regular Council meeting, November 15th, 2021. Time is 7:05 PM. Mark, would you like to?
Dom's gonna do it
Oh,
tonight.
Dom?
I'll do it.
Dominic's gonna leave some bread.
Yeah.
Lord, thank you for the opportunity to let us serve all these terms and years for the constituency of the city of North Canton. And as the holiday season's upon us, remember to be kind and gentler, more like Jesus. Amen.
Amen. All right, Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Stroya?
Here.
Member Foltz?
Here.
Member Peters?
Here.
Member Soretta?
Here.
Member Fonte?
Here.
Member Revolt?
Here.
Member Warren is absent, 6 present.
Motion to excuse member Warren.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. Okay, for your consideration, I need a motion and a second to approve as presented, subject to amendments necessitated by council's actions tonight. Legislative year 2021 City Council Annual Report.
Motion to approve as presented.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. All right, at this time, if you wish to
We
address.
also need to
Did I
approve
miss
the
something?
minutes.
Say it again?
You skipped the minutes from October 25th.
Oh, geez.
I move we approve the minutes of October 25th. Revolt.
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? All right, motion carries now.
Recognition.
We have handled all that. Now, at this time,
Thanks, man.
if you wish to address council, please step forward, state your name and address for the record. It's your last chance, Brad.
Carrie.
Quiet.
All right. Seeing none, we will move on to old business. I have a motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 43-21.
Revolt moves.
Second. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance amending Chapter 1155, Landscaping, Screening, and Outdoor Lighting Regulations of the codified ordinances of the City of North Canton, specifically Section 1155.11, Outdoor Lighting Regulations, subsection D, exemptions.
All right, thank you. Chairman Revolt.
This is the Dominic Fonte Memorial Light Standard. I think we've discussed it, as we know that we are going to allow the height to be raised to 30 feet, but it will be subject again to the issuance of a conditional use permit. Matter has been vetted at a public hearing. It's appeared before the Planning Commission. No one has spoken in opposition to it. So I would recommend that I make a motion that we adopt the third and final reading.
I second that.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. I have a motion and a second to read by title only for ordinance 47-21.
Revolt moves.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the City of North Canton to reclassify 80 parcels in the City of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in Chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code in order to ensure that current zoning more accurately reflects current uses, together with providing opportunities for future residents and businesses.
Thank you, Chairman Revolt.
Thank you. You may recall that this project was initiated to align certain orphan properties more accurately with their existing uses. We started somewhere in the range of about 250 parcels. We brought it down to these 80 after a public hearing and some additional research. I think it's important to note that we did leave untouched some of the multifamily / condominium uses. I think we left those aside. I believe probably that we could not come up with a good solution. But for the bulk of the properties, this will facilitate or eliminate questions when those properties are sold and there's a title search. They should be all aligned under one zoning category. Are there any questions? Any comments? Ben, I want to thank you on the record for a big lift on this. If there are no other comments or questions, then I'll move we adopt the third reading of ordinance 4721.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 61-21.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Finance of the City of North Canton to make final appropriation amendments for current expenses and related one-time advances and/or permanent transfers of monies made to various funds needed during the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2021, and within the available resources in order to balance and close the fiscal year.
All right. Third and final reading. Gina, any comments? No. All right. I'll entertain a motion and a second to adopt the third reading, ordinance 61-21.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. All right, motion and a second to read by title only, ordinance 62-21.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance to repeal and replace the City of North Canton's Employee Handbook with the City of North Canton Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual in order to adopt new matter and to amend and repeal certain obsolete and conflicting provisions.
All right, exactly as it reads. If there's no further comment, entertain a motion and a second to adopt the third reading.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion and a second to read by title only, ordinance 63-21.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance amending Chapter 155 Personnel Regulations of the Codified Ordinances of the City of North Canton to modify various personnel rules and regulations and the titles and compensation levels of certain personnel to reflect current policies and updates as aligned with the revised Personnel Manual.
All right, yes, this is going to bring, our codified ordinances into line. So any other questions, concerns? Entertain a motion and a second to adopt the third reading.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We have a motion and a second to read by title only, ordinance 64-21.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance authorizing appropriations for current expenses and other expenditures and related one-time permanent transfers of monies made to various funds for the period beginning January 1st, 2022 and ending December 31st, 2022.
All right. Any last-second comments on the budget? I entertain a motion to adopt the third reading.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. May I have a motion and a second to read by title only, ordinance 65-21.
Revolt moves.
Torres seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance establishing the 2021-2022 Charter Advisory Board, which shall be tasked with reviewing the charter of the City of North Canton and making recommendations to City Council on potential amendments to the city charter in order to provide the most efficient and effective local government possible for the City of North Canton.
All right, thank you. Chairman Stroya.
This is outlining the Charter Advisory Board. Ben has asked to speak and give some background to this, so take it away.
So last week, there appeared to be a little confusion about if this was replacing the regular charter review or not. So under the Ohio Constitution, there are three ways that we can amend our charter. The first is that which is specified within the charter. So in our case, it's a decennial review commission. Second would be a citizen petition. And third, the legislative body can take it upon themselves to recommend amendments to the voters. You'll remember earlier this year, we had briefly talked about potentially doing that, having you guys recommend some amendments, but we had put it on hold to sort of fine tune what the process would look like. So in talking with Chairman Stroya, this is essentially the fine tuning of that process. Chairman Stroya made it very clear that even though in effect we would be exercising council's power to recommend amendments, he wanted public input. And so to create that public input, we have come up with this Charter Advisory Board, which would bring in 5 members of the public to help advise council on what amendments they might wish to put forward to the voters. And so, as I said last week, if you all see fit to pass this tonight, the next council would appoint people, hopefully with a timeline to bring recommendations in May of next year and target the November 2022 ballot.
That covers it. Any comments, questions? Go ahead.
Question. Do you need an emergency provision on this now?
Yeah, we're going to do that.
So I'm not seeking an emergency provision, but I am seeking suspension of the rules. So if you pass under suspension of the rules tonight, that 30-day clock will start running.
Okay.
And then after the 30 days, the next council would appoint people. Which is why I am seeking an amendment to change Section 6 from December 15th to December 25th.
Yeah, I just saw that.
Because 30 days from now would be December 15th, so the committee couldn't possibly have their first meeting that day.
Okay.
Hold on just a second here.
You need, hold on.
Apologize. I'm looking at the ordinance that we have last night. What page is it in our packet tonight? Is it?
It's after the budget.
$69.
69?
Yes,
Yeah, it is.
69.
So you have a motion to read. You are going to amend this, and you will need a motion to amend the,
Yes, I request a motion to amend Section 6 to read December 25th instead of December 15th.
I will make a motion to amend this ordinance, amending Section 6 to read December again.
25th.
25th instead of the
25th.
15th.
Instead of 15, yes. Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Matt, anything else to add on this?
I'm good.
Okay, a motion and a second to adopt the second reading, ordinance 65-21 as amended.
Revolt moves.
Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Revolt moves.
Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Finally, a motion and a second to adopt, oh, I'm sorry.
We don't need to.
You don't need
No,
that.
don't need that one.
We do need to adopt under suspension of the rules.
Oh, we do?
Yeah.
Oh,
So
okay.
when we normally do an emergency clause, the emergency clause just exists in the legislation itself and must have 6 positive votes to take effect.
Nice.
All right, I'll make a motion then we adopt
Okay.
under suspension.
Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thanks, Ben.
Thank you.
Okay, motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 66-21.
Revolt moves.
0 seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance amending Chapter 1507, open burning of the codified ordinances of the City of North Canton to simplify the burn permit application process.
All right, thank you. Chairman Stroya.
We discussed this last week. This is streamlining the burn permit application process. Any comments, administration? Anyone else? I move to approve.
Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Revolt moves.
Hold seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, a motion and a second to adopt 66-21 under suspension.
Revolt moves.
0 seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, motion and a second to read by title only ordinance 69-21.
Revolt moves.
0 seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance supplementing the codified ordinances of the City of North Canton, Ohio by adding thereto Chapter 940 relative to establishing standards for the management of regulated substances under a source water protection program and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Thank you, Chairman Serrata.
Yes, it is what it says there. We've covered it in committee. Any questions from anyone? Yes,
If
Derek?
I might, Mark, I think we should note for the record that among the pieces of legislation that this council will adopt at year's end, this is arguably one of the most significant because it lends to the city or provides the city under statute, and I look to Mr. Duro to correct me, but it gives us the authority to protect our water system outside the municipal boundary from potential sources of contamination or uses that may contaminate our water.
And you mentioned it was in committee last week that the state legislature agrees with you on that.
Oh, yes.
The state legislature put the laws into effect to allow municipalities that own and operate water treatment systems the authority to go outside their jurisdiction and enforce, in essence, a separate zoning over the existing zoning in area townships. And that's, fairly significant, but, and they wanted to make sure that we would be able to protect the water. The city of Canton will be doing this at some point when they get together and start doing their swap.
Alliance.
Oh, we're like one of the first. We've tried this a couple of times, so maybe we had a lot of background information that helped us get started with this and get it wrapped up. So we can't enforce the zoning outside the city unless we've adopted it to enforce inside the city. So that's one of the catches to it.
Just by way of historic background, one of the reasons that we have a well field on East Maple Street was 20 years ago, we concluded that based upon water testing that we had a minor VOC problem in well number 1 at the water treatment plant. In other words, the neighborhood was a bad neighborhood. And the only way we could use that well was to airstrip the water. As we looked at our other wells, we had some issues with Price Park, and we also had some issues, neighborhood issues with Dressler. So this was the way to provide water was we, at considerable expense, drove I think it was a 3-mile raw water line from Dressler all the way up Glenwood and out to East Maple. So this is 20 years later. This is a very, very important piece of legislation that the administration has brought to us.
Without water, you can't live, so thank you.
So there you go.
Okay, I move we adopt.
Revolt seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Motion and a second to suspend the rules of council. Requiring
Revolt
three
moves.
Surratt seconds.
readings. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Finally, a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 66-21 under.
69.
69.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yeah, Revolt will move.
Surratt will second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, on to new business. I need a motion and a second to suspend Council Rule 24, allow consideration of item 3A from Committee of the Whole without a committee report.
Revolt will move an amendment to the agenda to consider what will be ordinance 72-21
Correct.
and suspend Rule 24.
There's a
It's
motion.
been
Is there a
moved.
second?
Destroy seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. That's what we're going to send to the planning commission.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's absolutely correct, Mr. President. This
Yeah.
is going to send our Main Street modification to the Planning Commission for its deliberation.
Motion and a second to read. Title only, ordinance 72-21.
Surratt moves.
Roll seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Ben?
An ordinance amending Chapter 1136, Main Street Districts Regulations, specifically Section 1136.05, Scheduled Permitted Uses of the Codified Ordinances of the City of North Canton to change drive-through facilities to a conditional use in the Main Street South zoning district.
Okay, now we need a motion and a second to instruct the clerk to make the application to the planning commission for ordinance 72-21.
Revolt will move.
Surratt seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. And finally, a motion and a second to postpone 72-21 until planning commission has made a recommendation.
Bolts moves.
Revolt seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, final call for new business. You want Matt to take this?
I got it.
Got
Yep. Can I get a motion and a second to introduce legislation that will be Resolution 14, 2021?
You want to make-
14, 2021, sorry.
You want to make the motion.
I'll motion.
Revolt will second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Suspend Rule 24.
Do you want me to-
Okay, yeah, I can do that. Could I get a motion to suspend Council Rule 24 and allow consideration of the new item without a committee report?
Revolt will move.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So, Resolution 14 is something I've been working on to try and recognize elected officials who give a significant amount of their time, effort, and intellect in betterment of the city of North Canton. So what Resolution 14 seeks to do is establish a program of awards for elected officials of the city of North Canton. These would be called the Gavel Awards for Public Service. Bronze level would be 10 years, silver would be 20 years, and gold would be 30 years. And if Member Shroy would be kind enough to make the motion to read, there's an added surprise in here as well.
But wait, there's more?
Ben's been a very busy
I will
boy.
make that motion.
Destroy seconds.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
A resolution to establish a program of awards for public service in recognition of individuals who have given of themselves in service to the city of North Canton as elected officials thereof. Whereas the Council of the City of North Canton wishes to recognize those individuals who through their dedication and long service have sacrificed their time, effort, and intellect for the betterment of the City of North Canton through service as elected officials. And whereas Douglas Foltz has served as a member of City Council for the past 26 years, making him the longest consecutively serving council member and third longest serving elected official in North Canton history. Now therefore, be it ordained by the Council of the City of North Canton, County of Stark, and State of Ohio, that there be and is hereby established the North Canton Gavel Awards for Public Service, consisting of 3 awards in recognition of long and continued service as an elected official of the City of North Canton, which shall be granted and bestowed under authority of this council. That the first award shall be the Bronze Gavel for public service, which shall be granted in recognition of 10 years of service as an elected official of the City of North Canton. That the second award shall be the Silver Gavel Award for public service, which shall be granted in recognition of 20 years of service as an elected official of the City of North Canton. And that the inaugural Silver Gavel Award be and is hereby granted and conferred upon Douglas Foltz in recognition of Mr. Foltz's years of dedicated service as the longest continually serving member of City Council and the third longest serving elected official in North Canton history. And that from this point forward, this award shall be known as the Douglas Foltz Silver Gavel Award for public service. That the third...
Not deserved, but thank you very much. Thank you.
And then the last part I'd like to read is that the third award shall be the Golden Gavel Award for public service, which shall be granted in recognition of 30 or more years of service as an elected official of the City of North Canton. For the record tonight, we have for all of those who are currently on council, certificates for you all, for your gavels. I apologize, they would have been fancier, but you moved the meeting up on me. To commemorate this more permanently, I will be getting plaques in council's office that will have all of the elected officials in our history who have qualified for one of these awards. And I know it wasn't in your packet because it was a surprise, but in the resolution itself, we also recognize everyone who has achieved one of those levels and their years of service and any offices of city council they may have held. So tonight, in addition to Member Foltz, President Peters will be receiving the Bronze Gavel Award. Member Soretta will also be receiving the Bronze Gavel Award. Member Warren will get the Bronze Gavel, and Member Revolt will get the Silver Gavel. And just to put a point on how historic of a council you all are, Darrell is the second longest serving elected official in North Canton history. And Jeff is the longest serving council president in North Canton history.
Who was the longest serving member of council?
Well, the longest serving member of council is Doug. The longest serving elected official is Charles B. Strasser, who served for 30 years exactly.
Thank you, Ben. Those are nice honors for everybody. We appreciate your gesture. Thank you.
Do we need a motion to adopt this?
We will need a motion to
Oh,
adopt.
yeah, we do. Let's do that. You want to take
You
us
know,
home, Silver?
before we do, I just want to say that, you know, Doug will be leaving us after 30 years, but burned into my mind is the importance of rental registration and gateway improvements.
Yes.
It will haunt me to my grave. Me too. I'm probably going to have to be deprogrammed. So on that note, I'll make motion.
Hey, Doug, me too.
I'll make a motion to adopt the aforementioned award.
Soretta, seconds.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. Aye, opposed? All right, motion carries. Let's go ahead and finish this out. Motion is second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings.
Revolt moves.
Soretta, seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries. And finally, a motion and a second to adopt resolution 14-21 under suspension.
Revolt moves.
Soretta, seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Motion carries.
If I may interject one final thing.
Sure.
For all of you who are sadly leaving us, the mayor, although he could not be here, has also given me proclamations for each of you in honor of your years of service.
Did we get a day? Did he name a day after us or something?
I will look. He did not name a day. I am sorry.
No gavel for you.
Okay, department reports.
Wait a
Director of
minute,
Administration.
what about 8 years service? I kind of missed out on that, man.
Yeah, you did. Sorry.
Well,
Can
you
I
should
get
have
like a
thought of
silver
that.
pen?
Silver pen.
You can take your name.
Right.
I'll keep my name tag.
No, you won't.
I'll have to pay for that too,
That's municipal property, and we're subject to audit.
I'll take it anyhow. We have a police officer back there. He's out of line.
Yes, Pat?
Are we done?
The floor
Okay.
is yours.
Well, as far as the reports go, I would just say that I don't really have much to add. I'll help Catherine. She's running late. She had a last-minute emergency with her daughter. But so Dogwood Park, we've had some great weather up until the weekend, but that was okay. And they have, if you haven't been by, I mean, it changes, drastically. And a lot of the big equipment is up. We're getting a lot of people that are stopping by, kids that are going up to the fence, peering through. I mean, this is very exciting for them. So what they were doing, of course, was putting the footers in for these pieces of equipment so that they're anchored in the ground really well. And the soil for that doesn't have to be optimal. So they're dealing with a lot of muck. If you've seen them out there, they're walking around in hip boots, sinking down in there. And that's because the under drains are yet to be put in, and they'll be put in once the footers are done and the equipment is in place. Now they'll go in and put the under drains in that will drain this water over to the quality retention basins, which then drain it over to the quantity retention basins. So that should start here shortly, and we're due for some good weather, come the midweek. And then once that's done, then it will be to, if we can hold the temperatures, to get the AstroTurf down, or what is like AstroTurf. And then that project will be ready to go. So, some of the smaller things that we'll deal with in the spring with the benches that we have to order, those will be delivered in the spring, and we'll get them out along the trail and whatnot. So it's probably working out pretty good. This is our last meeting, so some of you, I won't get to see you in this format for a time, maybe in the future, but I was reminded of how old I was today when I was talking to the council clerk and the assistant, Amber. And I recollected back to a time when Dan Griffith was leaving council, which was just like 10 years ago or whenever it was. And everybody was doing all their, love you and all this kind of stuff going around. It was getting really heavy, and it came to me, and I thought I would do some Don Rickles. And so I, threw some insults at Dan, and everybody, all of us thought it was funny, bottom of my heart, Dom, I never really liked you. Stuff like that, right? So I'm telling this to Ben and Amber, and they're like, who? Don Rickles. Who's that? I said, are you kidding me? You don't even, it's a legend of comedy. You have no idea. No idea what you're talking about. So, yes, getting old is not easy. But no, thanks to Dominic, to Mark, to Doug for your service. It's been instrumental in getting so many things done. And I know it's not everything that you wanted done, but it's a start, and we'll do our best to fulfill your legacies that you've asked us to do. Businesses, aesthetics, and we know what you want. And Jeff. Jeff's like a brother to me. I can insult him.
I'm still going to call him.
Yeah, so, and he has been calling. So, no, Jeff, I'm sorry to have eluded you, but I was just so overcome with emotion that I forgot you.
That's all right. I'll get over it. Thank you. Yes. Okay. Next up, where are we at? Director of Finance.
Thank you. I only have 2 budget cycles with some of you, so it just doesn't, it seems way too short-lived, but I do appreciate all of your support. Same thing, I just want to echo Patrick's. Everything that we have been able to accomplish has been through the committees and through your support, through your understanding of what we need to do to move forward. And I feel like in the last 2 years, we have just really moved forward in a lot of different directions and very much needed. The personnel manual is a big, giant step. Amending those codifications, and of course the budget and moving into the technology pieces. I know COVID pushed us there, but we went through that gracefully, and we just keep advancing. So I appreciate all your support. I've really enjoyed working with each of you. Looking forward to continuing working with some of you as well, and our new council people. So thank you very much.
Good stuff. Thank you, Gina. Engineer Graham.
Thank you, Mr. President. A couple quick things. First of all, the projects we talked about last week, the paving and the Glenwood water line, we're going to open those bids on Friday morning, December 3rd. So as we're running the rep this Thursday, next Thursday, and we'll open the 3rd. So pretty happy. Thank you for letting me get those out so early. And it kind of leads me to my next thing, is just thank you for all your support since I've been here for 4.5 years. I can't think of a single thing that I brought forward that you said no to. So that support means a lot. So,
Thanks, Rob.
Keep bringing the grant money, and they'll
do
never
that.
say no.
That's right.
Thank you, Rob, for all your hard work. Appreciate it. All right, Council Clerk.
I feel like I've had my time, so thank you all again for your years of service and dedication.
All right. Thank you, sir. We'll go around the horn. Member Revolt.
Ben has rightfully accented longevity. But as I reflect upon the departure of 4 of our members, it's my opinion that this is probably the most productive council that I've ever served with. When I look at the major pieces of legislation that we've secured for the community, and we've done it actually in an extraordinarily collegial environment, which is astonishing when you look at how many other councils operate or fail to operate. So, to Dom and Mark and Jeff and Doug, I simply extend my best wishes to you. and profound thanks on behalf of the community.
Thank you, Darrell.
Thanks, Darrell.
Member Fonte?
No comment. No, just kidding.
I'll second that. Let's move on.
Can we vote on that?
So anyhow, yeah, it was great. So administration, mayor's not here. There's a few people not here today, so hopefully they'll get it on the recording. But yeah, it was fun working with everybody, and I loved serving for the just about 8 years, and we did get a lot accomplished. I know sometimes in the audience, you don't really get that. You guys will in the future because you're going to be up here. So new eyes, fresh blood's always a good thing to continue the path. But there's a lot that's been done, and it's been fun to serve. And what a great community! The police, fire, EMS, the whole package that we have is stellar. I mean, it really is. So I wish you all the best, and I'll be around to cause trouble on occasion. Please don't pull me over. But anyhow, Zach's on duty, so watch out. But anyhow, it was fun working with everybody. So let's get a beer one of these times. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Member Serrata?
Yep, I want to thank everyone in this community, especially up here. I say it all the time, courage, determination, compassion. You guys have done a fabulous job with that. But I've got a few pieces of advice for the new council here, so I wanted to just kind of run down through just as they. So, number one, wear sunscreen. Because at least 1 out of 5 people develop skin cancer, and 2 people die each day. So make sure you cut that in half by wearing sunscreen. Don't just be legislators, be leaders. You can sit up here and go yes, no, yes, no, yes, no all you want, but if you don't lead something, anybody can do that. Read your stuff before you come, because if not, you're at the mercy of the person who did read it. So make sure you read everything and know what you're doing there. I'd mentioned compassion or courage. Courage, determination, compassion, 3 words I do use a lot there. It takes a great deal of bravery to stand up to our enemies, but it takes even more to stand up to your friends. So you don't have to agree with everybody all the time, especially if they're your friend. Just because you're a friend doesn't mean that you do what's right for what the community is. So that's determination, stay the course. Don't just take the easy way out. If there's something important, it takes time. Let it take time. Compassion. You got folks that are going to come up here and they're going to ask you for stuff, especially you ward councilmen. They're going to call you all the time. Don't just jump into saying this is how we do it, because it's easy. We've all done that. We say this is how we do it up there. Listen to what they got to say. Listen to understand, I guess you want to say, rather than to be understood, because a lot of times they'll come up with good ideas because they've been thinking about it a long time before they come up here. It takes courage for them to come up here, so listen to them. Which leads me into my last thing here. Dom reminded me that there's some bananas in these. Okay, so a lot of you maybe don't understand what the banana is for here. I'll leave it for you. And on here it says challenge the status quo. And it goes back to a story that we told some time ago, and it involved a research committee, and it had involved really 7 monkeys in a chamber. Now, some people might think that by telling that story, we're talking about 7 council people and a council chamber, but that's not true at all. Even though I think one of the monkeys was named Dominic, I believe. but we're going to let that go. That's not part of the thing. But in the chamber itself, it had You're the donkey? There was no donkeys. But let's get back to the story, Don. It's perfect that you kind of butt in, because that's just perfect.
Stay focused.
Yes, stay focused. In the chamber, there were a poll, and at the top of the poll was the most sought-after thing that monkeys wanted, and that is, of course, bananas. Now, we could say that could be economic development, income for the city. Let's just say that. Oh, let's just call it bananas again. Let's just call it bananas. So you've got a chamber, and you've got a bunch of monkeys, and every time a monkey climbed the pole to get the bananas, the researchers would douse cold water on them and knock them back down, and they would go into the corner shivering. And each monkey did this. And as every monkey did that, they did not climb the pole anymore. So then, because they had a rule that every 2 years they elected a new monkeys, they put new monkeys into the chamber. And as those monkeys started climbing the pole, the other monkeys pulled them down and hit them and said, do not climb that pole. And so after a while, they kept changing every monkey. And after a while, there was no original monkeys that were in that thing that they doused with water. but nobody went up the pole, because that is the way that we always do it. Nobody challenged the status quo, and they stayed the same they were. So I'm telling the new people, challenge the status quo. That's what the bananas are for. You'll see them in there. Don't just do things because we've always done it forever. There are better ways. It's a new world. And I would say that's the best thing you can do for your community, is to just bring up new stuff and lead on. So that's it, and don't forget to wear your sunscreen. So that's it for me.
Perfect. Good stuff. Thank you, Mark. I'll just simply say it has been an honor of a lifetime. Representing a community that I live in, raising my kids, and that I love, and it's been an honor of a lifetime. So, thank you all. Good stuff. Member Foltz.
Thank you. We've said it, this has been a great council. We've moved a lot of agenda through, and I'm very proud to be part of it. 26 years goes fast. It does. I appreciate my wife, Georgianne, who's here today. She's probably been to 3 council meetings other than swearing in. But she was always, when you run for council, it involves your wife, it involves your family. They take the calls, you run the input, you run certain things by them, they give them valuable input, and I appreciate that, Georgianne. I love you very much for that. And, your kids are involved too. We've seen our kids grow up. Grade school, college, and now grandchildren. So 26 years goes quick. It does. Family sacrifices being here Monday nights, but you do it for the betterment of your community. That's why you run. That's why you want to make things better. Certain people I want to thank. I want to thank Nancy Hahn Morrow, who helped me get involved to run for council. Councilman Greg Burnett, Councilwoman Kathy Magel. We worked with great administrators. We have, I probably think, the greatest administration here that I've been part of. And we've had some good ones through the years. But Kim Cooksey was an excellent person to work with. Brian Hill, who's still here, we appreciate their efforts. A lot of good mayors. Darrell, you were one of them. Mark, I first met you at the rec board, and Susie Van Raken, and that was where people really got involved, and here you served nobly on council. There's a lot of good people that made time for us to make these things happen. I appreciate Marion Bachman and Melanie Roll especially. When they came up and had something to say, they did it the right way. They did it very professionally. They didn't take a shot at you. And you respected that. I thank the council here through the years, just all working together for all the park improvements. We improved them all, now we're doing Dogwood again. My agenda 26 years ago was what place that's in, a skateboard park. We did that. Updating Dogwood Park with slides and spray ground. Now we're coming around full circle. Dogwood Shelter. It goes quick, and now we see these other great amenities we're building. North Canton, we were flush with money when Hoover was still working when we started, Darrell. And we invested in ourselves, so I thought it was a good move. We bought Arrowhead. We put in curb and gutter. We had a lot of money at the time, but we put it back in the infrastructure and neighborhood, and I think that was important to keep our housing stock so strong. We took on the water system. It was a nightmare. Probably 16, 18 years ago, it was a nightmare. We bit the bullet and took care of it and gave it 30-year life, and we spent a lot of money doing that and had a lot of discussion on council about it. So we did a lot of good things, and it was an honor and pleasure to serve. I wish the best to you, Jamie McLeister. I think the ward's in good hands. We always joke about nonpartisan politics. Well, that's the best it gets. It doesn't matter who's a Republican or a Democrat. It matters that we're all working together here. That doesn't even enter into our discussions. Amen. That's what's beautiful. That's what nationally should start happening. So, like I said, it's been a privilege and an honor. I thank everybody. And Darrell, you mentioned it. Please move forward with rental registration. Please move forward with the Gateway on Portage. I know we got a lot of great things happening, and that's a testament to everybody working hard here. So thank you to everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Doug.
Outstanding. All right. Good stuff, Doug. All right. Last but certainly not least, Member Stoya.
I was a little confused because I prepared a roast for everybody instead. I'm just joking. No, I respect each one of you for different reasons, but what I'll remember is you all reached out to me, and you all gave me advice, and you all welcomed me, and I greatly appreciate that, and I appreciate your years of service. I have some thank you cards for you that I'll give you that has more sappy stuff, so I'll throw my roast notes away. But no, seriously, thank you guys. I appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it.
Thank you, Matt. Best of luck.
You better.
Okay, meeting calendar. Next Monday night, a public hearing for ordinance 58-21 at 6:45 PM. December 1st, 2021, the swearing in of our newly elected officials, 5 PM, followed by light refreshments, and then organizational meeting to follow at 6 PM.
Yes, and so the swearing in and the light refreshments will be served in this room at 5, and then at 6, the organizational meeting will take place in what was the MAC room in the back. And then at 7 PM, there'll be a meeting of the Planning Commission that will take up your item that you just referred over.
Okay. All right. That concludes our agenda. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Revolt moves.
Renner seconds.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.
Please remember to empty your drawers